Hello friends, it's Victor, EdgeOFFrequency channel. I'm going to show you what I'm being exposed to living in an apartment. I'll start with the room where I spend most of my time. So this is my work desk. As you can see, keyboard is hardwired to the desktop as well as the mouse. The desktop is down on the floor, and of course internet connection also hardwired via Ethernet cable going all the way on the other side of the apartment, where I walk later to show you the elevated readings. But let's start off in this room first. So this is the Acousticom 2, a radio frequency meter. Let me turn it on. As you can see, the readings are in the middle of the scale. So minimum is 0.01 volts per meter, peak signal strength, maximum is 6, and this shouldn't be allowed in any residential areas this high of a reading. Let me show you something I'm really being concerned about. So those cell antennas on the roof on the other building that's around 20 meters apart from the one I live in, because I live on a 7th floor on a high-rise, and that really isn't the good view. I mean, you can hear the high-pitched noise in the background of the meter, and that's probably, well, surely that's the dominating transmission frequency of those cell antennas. Of course, there's a background hiss and all the other sounds, because this meter acts like basically a broadband radio, which measures from 200 MHz to 8 GHz, all the frequencies at the same time. So whether it be Wi-Fi from a cell phone, Bluetooth, wireless router, wireless keyboard and mice, and I'm obviously filming this video with my cell phone, but with the airplane mode turned on, so that it doesn't radiate anything, just as to make it clear. Okay, this is where I sleep, and there's no big difference in the actual exposure levels. So the buzzing sound when I lowered the Acousticom 2 device. That's the sound of a cordless phone from the neighbors down the floor, probably. I just make a sweep across the floor. I couldn't tell where it actually is, but I guess it's down the floor somewhere. Okay, let me walk you on the other side of the apartment and to show you the hot spots. Okay, now we're in the living room on the other side of the apartment, and you can see how high the readings just went up on the scale. So fortunately I don't spend much of my time in this part of the apartment where my parents usually do, of course, watching the TV. They're not home right now, and I'm really having a hard time explaining them these hazards. They just wave me away and think it's all just in my head and stuff, you know. It's just very hard time for me, especially if living in Croatia, which is a very weird country, so to speak, not having a job, seeking it. I'm almost being unemployed for 3 years and getting any information I could apart from seeking it to because I'd really like to move away from this, but that's the other topic. That's not the topic of this video. But let me show you the actual hotspots. So the cordless phone. You can hear the buzzing noise. So about around 3 meters away, and look at the radiation exposure levels. So the cordless phone should never be left laying off the base station somewhere. It should always be docked, because it emanates less radiation when it's docked, but it still does radiate like crazy. And you'd better be using a regular corded phone than a cordless phone, of course. And of course, here's the wireless modem. Extremely dangerous levels. When we go into the corridor, the main one, our apartments. You see this? So these are exposures that should be minimally or optimally loud. So the green yellow area, whilst the green area is practically the lowest this meter can read. You just focus better, more lightning. So as I head in the bathroom, you can see how readings somehow drop ridiculously low. When the other parts of the apartment, of course, near wireless devices that really are just throw to trash. If I could, you can see how high the readings get. And of course, I always, before going to sleep, turn off the router, because I don't want it to impact my sleep, because it's been proven that wireless radiation, such as microwave radiation that all these devices, cell phones, Wi-Fi routers, cordless phones, and cell phone antennas or cell towers make, are cumulative, as well as the ionizing spectrum of radiation, and they do affect your sleep, basically disturb melatonin levels in the brain, which has been shown by thousands of studies. You can check that out. And of course, this video is basically for raising awareness on these issues. I was influenced positively about the channel, which link I'll post in the video description. It's called the EMF Safety Zone, by a guy called Neil Stephen Cohen, who actually covered most of the subject, and you can go to his page, and there are links to numerous studies by doctors, researchers and scientists that haven't been influenced by the telecom industry. Okay, thanks for watching.